Hi everyone, not much has changed on the higher time frame and the lower time frame, but I did add one extra scenario on the lower time frame, which I will show you in a second. As always, we start with the higher time frame where I am looking for this ABC, where I believe this wave 4 might not yet be finished, and we are in an expanded flat wave 4 where I do believe we might see another wave to the upside before downside, getting into this target area of the wave 4 at around 20k, before then moving up for wave 5, finishing the yellow B here at the top, and then move down for C. Now I do have 4 other scenarios, and if you want to know more about these, make sure to click on the card at the right top of this video. So let's go into the lower time frame and show you my 3 local scenarios. Now, of course, we've been ranging from for the day, and I don't really like to go into detail of what has happened here. I do have like an idea, which I will tell you at the end of the video, but let's first go over the scenario of basically this range over here. So some people Elliott wave wise have put the 5th wave on top of this peak over here and think that the impulse that we had over the past couple of weeks has finished with this peak. However, it doesn't make sense to me to say that the end is over here, because we took that high, which is a corrective sign, which means this whole pattern for me is very corrective, and also from an Elliott wave point of view it looks very corrective. So this is currently my preferred scenario. As you can see, it's a corrective WXYXZ, which is a corrective pattern, and if we really want to move to the downside, then it would be better to have some sort of an impulsive wave. So I do believe that we might see another move to the upside and at least take the highs over here. So in this case, with the WXYXZ, we have a zigzag in the W over here, then we have an XY expanded flat in this X, and eventually an ABC in the final Z. And as you can see, the trend-based fib extension here has been pretty well respected. Of course, later in the day today, we did go through it over here, and we're basically just ranging. It doesn't really matter. But at the beginning over here, it was very well respected. And also the 1-to-1 is the most common target for this ABC. So the 1-to-1 trend-based fib extension is pulled from the high of X to the low of this impulsive move to then the high of E. And this was a triangle, and a triangle can only exist in wave 4, wave B, wave X, wave Y in a WXY, or wave Z of a WXYXZ. So that kind of gives it away that this is a 3-wave move and not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because if this is a wave 4 and this somehow is a wave 2, then the wave 2 and the wave 4 are really out of proportion, which shouldn't really be the case. Yes, wave 4 tends to be longer than wave 2. Wave 2 tends to be sharper in a correction than wave 4. It's called the rule of alternation. You can make sure to Google that online as well, which basically means that wave 2 and wave 4 do have a relationship. If wave 4 is short and sharp, if wave 2 is short and sharp, which tends to happen in a wave 2, very often a zigzag, wave 4 tends to be a little bit longer and not as deep, not as sharp, and a wave 4 tends to be some sort of a flat. Very often it is an expanded flat, creating fake highs, before then of course having the C wave down. But anyway, yeah, so as you can see, I have this channel on my chart. This is currently my preferred scenario, where this might be the end of wave Z. When we look at the local price action, before I go into my other 2 scenarios that I have at the moment, if we look at the local price action, and actually let's go to the 5-minute time frame. Now, I don't really like to call or to count Elliott waves on such a low time frame. For me, the 15-minute is kind of the minimum time frame, but I do like to sometimes have a look at what is happening on the lower time frame, because, you know, is this the low or not? Now, this is quite a big inefficiency. It's quite a big wick, and usually you do eventually in time see those type of wicks fulfilled. So basically price filling this big imbalance. But it does look like in some way this is some sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, price has stayed below the high if this is a wave 5. So one could say, hey, based on this maybe a 5-wave move, I am at least expecting a wave to the upside. Is then this wave to the upside going all the way to where we expect it to go, like 26K? Yeah, I'm not so sure, right? It's too early to tell, especially because we've just been ranging, and we can as well just fill the wick before then moving to the upside. Not to forget that we are having support on my target box, which I've been showing on the past in the past couple of videos, and so far has been doing very, very well. So yeah, that is one scenario. Of course, we can say, okay, this might be wave 1, then we have a 2, and eventually we have 3, 4, and we go to the upside. But this might also be some sort of a 3-wave A, then a B with just a very big wick, and then a C to the upside, and then eventually you go and slowly go to the downside. But this is very, very low time frame, something that I believe is not too relevant in a situation where we are at the moment, because when we look to the higher time frame, the expectation that I have based on my preferred scenario is that if this is the end of Z, or if we fill the wick and eventually move to the upside, then this is on the higher time frame, connecting it to the higher time frame, this is a, there we go. So this is then, let me actually put this on the chart. The high of 3 is over here, and then we have an A, B, C to finish wave 4, and then move to the upside for 5. And in this B wave is then a 3-wave pattern. So it's an impulsive wave A, followed by a corrective wave B, followed by a C, and that then makes this an A, B, C finishing 4. So that being said, let's go into the second scenario that I have on this time frame, which is only slightly different, because now I have wave Y over here and wave X is on top of this high over here, just below the target box. And with wave Y, or wave Y, with my other scenario, I have wave X still as potentially unfinished, this being a WXY, and then this X has to be some sort of a expanded flat. However, I think I'm gonna remove this scenario, because it doesn't make sense for, if this is an expanded flat, meaning an A, B, C, it's just completely out of proportion. So let me actually just remove it. There we go. That scenario goes in a bin, but we do have one that I haven't shown yet, which, as you can see, is on the chart right now. Very basic. I quickly thought of this, is that this might be a W, then an X, and then a Y. The thing is that it doesn't really matter for where price will eventually end up. Like, both scenarios in this case will have price ending around this area, and a maximum, absolute maximum of the blue box down here between 22K and basically 21.7K. What I do like about this scenario is if I pull the fib from the bottom here of W to the high of X, and I put on the targets, or let's say the targets for wave Y in this case. So each wave, which I think is good to know, each wave in a WXY will follow each other up between the 786 and the 1.38 Fibonacci. So the X and the Y should be in the 786 to 1.38 Fibonacci retracement levels. And in this case, we can see that wave Y has wicked inside this very common and actually great Fibonacci support or resistance area. It's just very useful to have these fibs and use these in your trading. But as you can see, this area between the 1.236 and the 1.38 also had confluence with my target box, which is interesting because this might then be also the low of wave Y. So my bias at the moment and my expectation is currently to the bullish side, expecting another wave to the upside to finish on the higher time frame, the wave B, before then going down for C and finishing wave 4, before then going up for another wave 5. So these are the scenarios that I wanted to speak about. Hopefully you found them insightful. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the content. And I do recommend that if you want to know more about my higher time frame counts, please have a look at the video that is on the front page of my channel. If you go to the homepage of my channel, or again, click on the card at the right top. I make sure to put it in the screen right now so you can actually check that out, because I have a couple of high time frame scenarios that I think you might actually like. However, this one is currently my preferred scenario, and I will explain it one more last time, where in this case, we are in an ABC expanded flat in the yellow B. And the reason why I like to explain it is because it's relevant to the price action we have now. So wave C, the final wave in this yellow wave B, is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in this wave 4, we then have some sort of an A, B, C expanded flat, finishing 4 before then moving up. And locally, as I just showed you, locally we might have this as some sort of an A, B, C before then moving down. And then this would be the A, B over here at the top, and then C down here. So let's see how that is gonna pan out. These are the current biases that I have and expectations. Thank you for watching this video, and tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I have a new video for you. So thank you for watching, and hope you have a great morning, a great afternoon, or a great evening from wherever you are in the world. Bye bye.